This video is to propose a plan layout of production of Sape. Nowadays, every successful manufacturing facilities has their own specific and unique plan layout. Layout is used to view a physical arrangement of industrial facilities such as machines, processing equipment, and service department. The layout is very important as it is able to satisfy the needs of all those who are associated with the production system, such as workers, supervisors, and managers. Then, why the plan layout is so crucial to the manufacturing company? This is because a good plan layout has many advantages in the manufacturing process. First and foremost, a well-planning in plan layout can increase the efficiency of operations and decrease in cost of production. But in the other hand, bad plan layout can lead in inefficiencies and losses throughout the existence of the plant. So, here is the plan layout for our Sape production. The layout basically contains a few parts, namely storage system, manufacturing process, assembly point. We also include in this plan an office and a few restrooms. I will explain about each point roughly. I will not go more detail because it will be explained by my friend later. So the first point is the storage system for raw material. The raw material is basically wood. Storage system is placed near the main entrance as it's easy to retrieve the material later to transfer the raw material to other machines. Second point is the first machine, which is the bandsaw. The bandsaw is used to cut wood into desired and suitable dimension. For example, our Sape is about cuboid size, so we're going to cut the wood into cuboid size, which is suitable for a Sape shapes. The third point is where CNC router machine is placed. It is for carving process. Carving process is a process where we make a unique pattern on the Sape. The fourth point is the sanding process. Sanding process is basically we make the surface of the Sape, of the wood, much smooth and tidy. The fifth point is finishing processes, and the sixth point is the assembly part. The assembly part is for installing strings into the Sape. Basically, the strings have maybe 5 or 4 or maybe 6 in a single Sape. And finally, the storage system for final product. So, these are the overall components of our plant layout.
My team and I, which consists of 4 people, is required to create a plan layout in the production of Sape. Okay, before we discuss about the plan layout, we need to know the background and history of the Sape. Okay, Sape is a famous non-traditional instrument in the Sarawak. It's usually used by the tribes like Kenya, Kayans, and Klabit. This instrument is come from flute family, which has a short neck, and this Sape is a very crucial instrument as it usually been used as a symbol to promote Malaysia in the areas of art, culture, and tourism. It is also the symbol of pride to the state of Sarawak. Okay, so how is Sape is being made? Okay, Sape is carved from a single bowl of selected fine-grained wood. Sape is recognized as a masterpiece of art and culture. Not every people can make Sape because it requires extremely skill in carving the wood. in the early production of sape, it has only 2 strings and only 3 frets, which only being added at the early of 19th century. As the world evolved and the music and the modern music evolved too, so the sape evolved too. The sape, which only has 2 strings, now it has 6 strings to make it still relevant to the modern music. Initially, the sape is only used for the ritual ceremony to induce trance. As the time passed, gradually the sape became a social instrument that is used as a form of entertainment. Normally, the sape is played to accompany the men's longhouse dance and for the women's longhouse dance. For example, ngajak dance, which is known as warriors dance, and Datuk Julid are one of the example ceremony that often being accompanied by playing sape. Okay, I think that's all for the background and history of sape.
Hello, I'm going to be explaining more about the manufacturing system for our project. For our sape production, we are going to be adapting the job shop manufacturing system. The reason we are adapting this system is because the sape is produced at a low quantity. This means that we custom made it for the customer. Second, we do not require complex machine in order to produce sape. We only needed general purpose machine. Since the wood that we use for making sape will move through various machines in the workshop, this means that it is ideal for us to use job shop manufacturing system. For the manufacturing process, we have 3 main processes. The first one is the drying process, the second one is the cutting process, and the third one is the woodworking process. For the drying process, the wood will first be stored in a warehouse to be dried, either at an elevated room or dried at the sun. For the cutting process, the bandsaw will be used to cut the wood into the appropriate dimension that the customer ordered. For the woodworking process, we have 3 categories. That is the carving process, the shaping process, and the sanding process. For the carving process, a CNC machine will be used to carve or borrow a hole that is for the sape feature at the middle of the wood. For the shaping process, another CNC machine will also be used to roughly make the curve of the shape of the sape like this. And then for the sanding process, well, typically we use a orbital sander to sand it. A worker will sand it until it is very smooth, and then that's how we do it. For the assembly process, a worker, experienced worker, or people who have already made sape before will be hired by the company to make sape. For the assembly process, an experienced worker will be used to install the string for the sape. For the production machine, we are going to be using a vertical bandsaw. These are the specs for the vertical bandsaw. For the CNC machine, we are going to be using 2 CNC machines for this production. One is specifically dedicated to carve the hole, and the other one is for shaping the shape of the sape. The third machine that we will be using is the orbital sander.
Next, for the human resource. The amount of workers needed are only few in our factory. The workers needed are equal to the amount of machine used in the factory. This is because the workers are mainly used to operate the machine and to load and unload the workpiece. A worker is also needed for material transport machine. The only exception where more workers are needed in a workstation is at the material assembly process. This is because at the material assembly process, worker needed to assemble the string to the Sape, and then they will need to tune it. After finished tuning, the worker are needed to do some quality inspection before they are sent to the storage room. For material transport system, we divided them into two parts. To transport raw material to the workstation, we uses forklift. This is because initially the wood are heavy and a forklift can lift a heavy object up to 4,500 kg. After finish cutting the wood, we will then transport the workpiece using an AGV, which is a unit load carrier. This is because this will reduce the amount of workers needed, and this is because this will reduce the amount of workers. For the storage system, we divided them into two categories. To store the raw material, we uses the rack system. This is because rack system enable us to store the material in vertical stacking order. Now, after finish the product, we will store it using the vertical carousel storage system. This is because vertical carousel storage system requires less space compared to other storage method. Now for the identification system. Usually there are two identification systems used for production, which is the radio frequency identification and the optical identification system. For our production, we will use the optical identification system, which is by using a barcode. This is because compared to using radio frequency identification system, using barcode is more cost effective.